The Sosilawati ADAWIYAH case is one of Malaysia's most high-profile criminal cases involving the murder of a successful businesswoman, Datuk Sosilawati ADAWIYAH, in 2010 at BINTI, Selangor. Sosilawati, along with three of her companions who are Kamaruddin bin Shamsuddin, her personal driver, Ahmad Kamil bin Abdul Karim, a lawyer, and Nur Hisham bin Muhammad, a bank officer, was kidnapped and brutally murdered in an act driven by greed and financial gain. The offender, including her former business partner and others who are Patmanaban, Ilayalagan, Matan, and Katawarayan, planned and executed the crime with premeditation, showing extreme criminal intent. This case shocked the Malaysian public due to the severity of the crime, the betrayal of trust, and the business connections involved, highlighting issues of criminal conspiracy, fraud, and murder. The case went through a lengthy legal process, and the court decision emphasized the principles of retribution and deterrence in criminal law, making it a key reference in the discussions of punishment and justice in Malaysia. Among the parties involved are the Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM), play a crucial role in investigating the crime, including collecting evidence, recording statements, and identifying the suspect. Secondly, the prosecution, represented by the Attorney General's Chambers, was responsible for instituting and conducting the criminal proceedings against the accused on behalf of the state. Lastly, the Malaysian courts adjudicate the case. The matter was heard at the High Court and subsequently reviewed by Court of Appeal and the Federal Court during the appeal process to ensure that justice was properly administered. So, have you been watching about this case? Let's move to our main topic, function and aims of punishment.
In Datuk Sosilawati ADAWIYAH's case, there were many evidence proven by chemists and medical doctors. Among the evidence were severely burnt and charred human bones found in the river. In addition, there were DNA blood samples of Hisham on the KK bed and DNA of Kamil and Kamal on zinc sheets. This case was heard in the High Court. All four accused persons filed appeals twice in the Court of Appeal and the Federal Court. Court decision made by Federal Court stated that the first, second, and fourth accused, which is Patmanaban, Ilayalagan, and Katawarayan, were found guilty and sentenced to death. Meanwhile, the third accused, Matan, was acquitted of the murder charge due to insufficient evidence. However, the death sentence has not been carried out against the three convicted accused persons, Patmanaban, Ilayalagan, and Katawarayan, until today.
Today, I would like to talk about the legal issues in the Sosilawati ADAWIYAH case, which is one of the most serious criminal cases in Malaysia. First, one of the main legal issues is fraud and deception. Sosilawati ADAWIYAH was deceived in a land transaction. The accused made false promises and dishonest representation to gain her trust and money. This clearly shows the offence of cheating under the criminal law. Second, the case involved criminal breach of trust. The main accused was a lawyer. As a legal professional, he had a duty to act honestly and protect his client's interests. Instead, he abused his position for personal gain, which is a serious violation of the law and professional ethics. Third, the case involved the offence of murder under Section 302 of the Penal Code. Sosilawati ADAWIYAH and three others were intentionally killed. The murders were carefully planned and carried out to silence the victims after the fraudulent activities were discovered. In addition, the case raised issue of common intention and criminal conspiracy, as more than one person was involved in the commission of the crime. Pursuant to Section 34 of the Penal Code, when a criminal act is done by several persons in furtherance of a common intention, each of them is held equally liable for the act. Accordingly, all suspects were charged under Section 302 of the Penal Code, read together with Section 34 of the same code. If found guilty, all accused persons could be sentenced to death, as they are deemed to have jointly committed the offence of murder. Another important legal issue is the destruction of evidence. The bodies of the victims were burned in an attempt to eliminate evidence and obstruct justice. This clearly demonstrates an intention to interfere with the legal process. In conclusion, the Sosilawati Lawiyah case highlights serious legal issues such as fraud, breach of trust, abuse of professional power, murder and obstruction of justice. This case serves as a strong reminder that no one is above the law and that justice must be upheld to protect society.
Retribution is a theory of punishment which holds that an offender should be punished because he deserved it for committing a crime. It is a backward-looking theory as it focuses on the offender's past wrongdoing rather than future objectives such as deterrence or rehabilitation. The main principle of retribution is just that, which requires that punishment must be proportionate to the seriousness of the offence and the offender's blameworthiness. Retribution also serves to express society's condemnation of criminal behavior and to uphold respect for the rule of law. However, since retribution does not aim to prevent future crimes, modern criminal justice systems apply it together with other aims of punishment. How this case reflects retribution in law? Number 1, punishment, because they deserved it. Retribution focuses on moral blameworthiness. In this case, the killings were intentional and is planned in advance, involved extreme cruelty and also resulted in multiple deaths, who is Kamil, Kamal, Hisham and Datuk Sosilawati. Under retributive theory, such conduct deserved the harshest punishment available under the law. The court was not punishing them mainly to reform or deter, but because the justice required a severe response. Number 2, proportionality between crime and punishment. Retribution requires that punishment be proportionate to the offence. Here, 4 lives were taken, victims were deceived and murdered, bodies were destroyed to escape justice. A severe crime justified a severe punishment, such as death sentence or life imprisonment. This satisfies the proportionality principle in retribution. Number 3, affirmation of society's moral values. Retribution also serves to condemn wrongdoing, express society's moral outrage by imposing the harshest sentence. The court sent a clear message. Such cruel and inhuman acts will not be tolerated in a civilized society. This restores the moral balance disturbed by the crime. 4, focus on past wrongdoing, not future benefits. The court's decision was based on what the accused had done, the seriousness of the offence, not primarily on whether they could be rehabilitated, whether punishment would reduce crime. This backward-looking approach is a classic retributive justification.
خدني بحضنك أبغى